For almost 20 years, Google controlled the internet. Whenever we had a question, we Googled it. Restaurants? Google. Homework? Google. News? Google. Directions? Google. Google wasn't just a company anymore. It became part of human behavior. And then, in November 2022, a small AI chatbot quietly launched to the public. Within days, the entire tech industry panicked. That chatbot was ChatGPT. And for the first time in decades, Google looked vulnerable. This is the story of how OpenAI made one of the most powerful companies in history. To understand why Google panicked, you first need to understand how powerful Google really was. Google Search handled more than 90% of global online searches. Every day, billions of people used Google to search for information. And this wasn't just about search. Search was Google's money printing machine. When you searched something like best smartphones, Google showed ads, and every click generated money. Lots of money. In 2023 alone, Google's advertising business generated more than $230 billion in revenue. That's larger than the GDP of many countries. Google became so dominant that most people believed nobody could seriously threaten it. Not Microsoft, not Yahoo, not Bing. But while the world saw Google as unbeatable, something dangerous was quietly growing in the background. Artificial intelligence. Ironically, Google itself helped create it. Many people think OpenAI invented modern AI. That's not entirely true. In fact, some of the most important AI breakthroughs came from Google researchers. In 2017, Google published a research paper called "Attention is All You Need." That paper introduced transformer technology. Transformers became the foundation of modern AI systems, including ChatGPT. In a way, ChatGPT was built on ideas Google helped create. So why didn't Google dominate AI first? Because Google had a huge problem: fear. Google understood something terrifying. An AI chatbot could destroy its own search business. Think about it. Google search works because users search, click links, and see ads. But AI changes everything. Instead of showing 10 blue links, AI gives direct answers. Fewer clicks, fewer ads, less money. Google was trapped. If they moved too slowly, someone else could dominate AI. But if they moved too fast, they could damage their own billion-dollar empire. And then, OpenAI made its move. OpenAI was founded in 2015. Its mission sounded almost idealistic: to ensure artificial general intelligence benefits humanity. The company started as a research lab, but unlike Google, OpenAI moved aggressively. It partnered with Microsoft, and Microsoft invested billions of dollars into OpenAI. Then came the moment that changed everything. November 30th, 2022. OpenAI launched ChatGPT. At first, most people thought it was just another chatbot. They were wrong, completely wrong. Within 5 days, ChatGPT crossed 1 million users. Netflix took around 3.5 years to reach that number. ChatGPT did it in 5 days. 2 months later, it crossed 100 million users. The fastest growing consumer app in history. The internet exploded. Students used it for homework. Programmers used it for coding. Writers used it for content. Businesses started integrating AI into workflows overnight. Suddenly, people began asking a terrifying question. What if we stop Googling things? And inside Google, alarm bells started ringing. According to reports, Google declared a code red internally after ChatGPT's success. Founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin reportedly became more involved again. Google executives knew this wasn't just another tech trend. This was a direct threat to Google search itself. Then came another shocking moment. Microsoft integrated OpenAI technology into Bing. For years, Bing was treated like a joke in the search industry. But now, Bing suddenly had AI-powered search before Google. For the first time in years, Google was reacting instead of leading, and the pressure showed. In February 2023, Google rushed to launch Bard, its AI chatbot. But during a public demo, Bard gave an incorrect answer. Google's parent company lost around $100 billion in market value in a single day. One mistake, $100 billion gone. That's how nervous investors were. Google eventually rebranded Bard into Gemini and pushed deeper into AI. But by then, OpenAI had already changed the narrative. Google was no longer seen as untouchable. But this battle is bigger than chatbots. This is a war for the future of the internet itself. Because whoever controls AI could control search, productivity, education, coding, advertising, business, software, and even human decision-making. And the stakes are massive. The AI industry could become worth trillions of dollars over the next decade. That's why every tech giant is racing into AI. Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Apple. Everyone is afraid of being left behind. But OpenAI changed one critical thing. It moved faster. Google had the technology. OpenAI had the courage to release it publicly. And in technology, speed often beats perfection. So, is Google losing? Not exactly. Google still has, but something important changed forever. For the first time in decades, people started imagining a world beyond Google search. That alone was revolutionary. OpenAI forced Google into defense mode. And in business, once a giant starts reacting instead of leading, the market notices. The biggest lesson from this story is simple. Sometimes the biggest companies don't lose because they lack technology. They lose because they fear disrupting themselves. Google helped create modern AI, but OpenAI was willing to take the bigger risk, and that risk changed the tech industry forever. The AI war has only just begun, and the company that wins may control the future of the internet itself. If you enjoyed this business case study, hit the like button and subscribe for more stories about brands, billion-dollar mistakes, and business wars.